Hello, welcome to a Sunday hockey breakfast here at Daft Ass Puck. It is Sunday the 21st of November and we have plenty of NHL action to catch up on this morning. My name is Matt, I am the owner, that sounds a bit grand. I'm the person behind daftuspuck.uk and at daftuspuck on Twitter and the YouTube channel here. And, it's not a very nice day here in the UK. I know it's getting to the end of November, so you kind of expect that, but the rain in fact has just stopped hammering against the window, but it was not very nice for 5 minutes there. And I do have some gardening to do today. I've got quite a lot of leaves to sweep up in the back garden. It's not gardening weather, is it? If that sounds like I'm looking for excuses, then you're right. There we go. Definitely a Sunday morning to stay indoors, wrap up warm with a cup of tea or coffee. I've got coffee this morning to wake me up. And to have a look at some NHL action. Oh yes, and plenty to catch up on, not least the New York Islanders finally getting off their road trip to start the season and opening UBS Arena. How did they get on? Various other stories to catch up on, so we will be doing that. I am in a relatively good mood today because the Oilers won. Spoiler alert there, although as usual on the Sunday hockey breakfast, I'm a bit bleary-eyed, so yes, button pressing snafus are quite likely today, quite likely normally to be fair, but even more so today. So we shall start having a look at some of the results from yesterday. If I can pull up the right screen, here we go. So let's have a look, and we shall go to this screen. There we are. And we shall have a look on NHL.com and all of the news around NHL. Should be noted before we get going, of course, that the New York Rangers Ottawa Senators game was postponed, so another game postponed for the Sens, although they were back practicing yesterday apparently, so hopefully they're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel there for the Sens, or at least COVID-wise at least. But other than that, there were a lot of games last night. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So plenty of teams in action last night. And we shall start with the Canes, who've moved to 14-2-0 with a 5-4 win over the Kings. Let's see if we can bring this up. Yes, we can. So yeah, 4 wins in a row for Carolina. And incredible game this. 5 times Carolina took the lead in this one. 4 times the Kings were able to make a comeback, but yes, by the 5th time they had just run out of gas by the looks of it. Just having a quick look at the highlights, but incredible game, really exciting. Saw the highlights this morning. Aho, Stepan both having a goal and assist. Freddie Anderson, particularly in that 3rd period, was outstanding for the Canes. So all of the scoring came in the first 2 periods. No goals in the 3rd. Marty Nakus was a man who scored the winner, wasn't he? Let's have a look on here. Yes, Martin Nakus. So an exciting game. No goals in the 3rd. Bit weird to have 9 goals in the first 2 period and then nothing in the 3rd, but that's how this one went. And just shows the depth and the quality of the Canes right now. Everything that was thrown at them by the Canes. So full credit to the Canes for making a great game of it. But yes, the Canes just find a way, and that's been their MO all season long. And it's what you've expected from the Canes coming into the season, but they are definitely delivering early on in the NHL season. Which brings us to New Jersey Devils and the Lightning. So the Lightning have been in good form of late, but not today. Lost 5-3, and look at that. 4 goals in the 3rd for the Devils. They were 3-1 down, in fact. Rutter, Maroon and Hedman had put them up 3-1, or had put the Lightning up 3-1. But they came back. Mercer, Fessy, Sarangovic and Tatar got the game sorted for the Devils. And I know in the notes here, if we go into the full coverage, if this will work, there we go, on NHL.com. Where are we? There was a quote somewhere. Oh, maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, no. Here we go. John Cooper, Tampa Bay coach. It wasn't the third. Their team outworked us. It's the National Hockey League. When you get outworked, you're playing with fire. The sense of arrogance we had about us today. Oh dear. We got what we deserved. So, Cooper not pulling any punches there. Not very happy with how they played in the third, which you can understand. You give up 4 goals in the third. You're not going to be very happy as a coach. They had the game, won the Lightning, but full credit to the Devils for fighting back and winning it, stealing one. So the Devils moved to 8-5-3, Lightning are 9-4-3. And next up, we come to this game, and we come to our lovely feature that we call Pucky Blinders. So with Pucky Blinders, we tend to have a look at who did the best during the course of the week, but we have to give it to the Florida Panthers, I think, because their 5-4 victory over the Minnesota Wild means that it's 10 straight home wins to start the season for Florida. So incredible how they're going. They are 13-2-3, which means they've got 29 points, which leads the NHL. So they are playing a Pucky Blinder so far this season, and they just keep finding ways to win. You have to give credit to the Wild. 3 goals in the third. They definitely made a game of it. Just as with the Kings and the Canes. No one giving up here and thinking this is a game that's gone. They kept fighting all the way, as you can see in the third. Really good game. Lots of goals about in the NHL, it seemed, last night. But credit to them. 5 goals in the third period. Just made it, it was already an exciting game, but that just sealed it, really. 4-3 empty net goal for Florida. Took the game away from the Wild. So, credit to the Wild for giving it a good go, but the Panthers are in great form and are playing a Pucky Blinder. And on to the next game, and that was Toronto and the Pittsburgh Penguins. So Toronto went into this game with a 5-game winning streak, but it was snapped by the Penguins, who scored 2 goals in the first, and that was your lot. Yes, Gensel and Carter with the goals in the first period. And there was nothing else to say. It was a good competitive game, just watching the highlights and reading some of the coverage after it. All the scoring done in the first. Second straight shutout for Tristan Jarry for the Penguins. So good win for the Pens. They need some good news. 7-6-4. Sydney is back and is starting to feel like he's got his skates underneath him. He had such a difficult time with a wrist injury and then getting COVID as soon as he came back. So you feel that the Penguins, there's still a long way to go in this season, so don't count out the Penguins just yet. And they are doing well. Carrying on, who should we count out? Can we count out the Montreal Canadiens? Well, I mean, they're 5-13-2, despite winning 6-3 against the Predators. So, stranger things have happened. It will be a hell of a run from here to try and get to the playoffs. But good win for the Canadiens. 4 goals in the second. Set this one up. They lost 6-0 to the Pittsburgh last time out. So, having conceded 6, another 3 goals conceded here, but they at least kept fighting and kept getting over the line. It was a natural hat-trick, I believe, by Matt Duchene. Yes, it was. So, look at this. 4 goals in the second period. Montreal went 5-0 up, only for Matt Duchene to score a natural hat-trick, his 10th, 11th and 12th goals of the season. But not enough at the Bell Centre to hold off a Canadiens victory. Much needed Canadiens victory for Montreal. So that was the story there. Good win for the Canadiens. Maybe they can go on a run now. It is desperately needed. And talking about a desperately needed good run, we come to the Islanders. Now, before all of this, we had the long-running road trip for the New York Islanders, all to set up the home opener against the Flames on the 20th of November, and of course they lost. Yes, they are not playing well at the moment, although we do have to say for the Islanders, before the game, 6 players placed on the COVID protocol, several key players as well, so not just a blow for the team coming into their home opener, but for those players in particular. So much excitement, so much anticipation for opening UBS Arena, and yeah, a whole bunch of good players for the Islanders were unable to take the ice, and they went down 2-0. Richardson and Mangiapane put it up 2-0. Brock Nelson scored the first goal for the Islanders in the new digs, but Mangiapane made it 14 on the season for another power play goal. Brock Nelson scored again, so he's the only Islander who scored in their home place today. But they kept going, the Flames, and yeah, tough times for the Islanders. They'd lost 4 in a row coming into this, so now it's 5 losses in a row. 2 goals for Brock Nelson is not enough, as I put in my notes. And yeah, tough. It was 3-2, and then there were 2 empty net goals. So the final score, you could argue, flattered the Flames a little bit, but not good for the Islanders. However, I have some good news for Islanders fans, because what we can now turn to is Ice, Ice, Maybe.
Ice, ice, maybe. Ice, ice, maybe. Ice, ice, maybe. Woo!
So, Ice, Ice, Maybe is our regular feature where I predict something either about a player or a team. Now, this time last week, I made a prediction about the Anaheim Ducks, and to prove it, I shall play you the clip now. Yes, Ice, Ice, Maybe is my new feature where I make a prediction, maybe about today's games, maybe about something coming up. And my prediction for today is around the Anaheim Ducks, because they are on an incredible streak. They've won 6 in a row. Really flying at the moment, those Ducks, of course. And the question is, how long is this going to last? So my prediction on the Sunday hockey breakfast is this. Tonight, the Ducks are playing Vancouver, and the Ducks are going to win tonight to make it 7 in a row. I am then going to predict that the Ducks will beat Washington on Tuesday too to make it 8 wins in a row, only for Carolina to beat them on Thursday. So that is my prediction. The Anaheim Ducks, who have got 6 in a row so far, are going to win tonight against the Canucks. They're going to win on Tuesday against Washington, but their winning run will come to an end at the hand of the Carolina Hurricanes on Thursday. We shall check back next Sunday to see how I went. And true to my word, yes, we are checking back, and yes, I absolutely nailed it. If you thought this was just me messing about, no, I am a genius. Something like that. So yes, they beat the Canucks 5-1 to make it 7 in a row, and then they had an overtime win against Washington 3-2 to make it 8 wins in a row. But as I predicted, in Ice Ice Maybe, they then lost to the Carolina Hurricanes 2-1. So I nailed that one. And that now means this is good news for the Islanders, because I'm going to pick the Islanders. However, it's not all good news, because my prediction is, so the Islanders have lost 5 in a row. They take on Toronto tonight, who had just lost their 5-game win streak. I'm going to predict, unfortunately for the Islanders, that the Maple Leafs are going to win tonight. So that will be 6 losses in a row for the Islanders. But their next game is on Thursday, and that is against the New York Rangers. So they are going to get their first win at UBS Arena against the Rangers, and then they're going to follow that up with a win against Pittsburgh on the Friday. So that is Ice Ice Maybe for this week. The Islanders are going to lose tonight to the Maple Leafs, but they're then going to get their first win at UBS Arena against their local rivals, the New York Rangers, and then they're going to beat Pittsburgh too. we shall come back next Sunday to see if I'm right. Actually, I'm possibly not going to be able to do it on Sunday. I will do a live stream. The game's on the Friday night, so I'll do a live stream on the Saturday to see if I got this one right. And let's see if I can go 2-0 with my Ice Maybe predictions.
Ice, maybe. Ice, maybe. Ice, maybe. Woo!
So that is Ice Maybe, and we get back onto the Saturday night games, and another win for the Bruins. That's 3 in a row for the Boston Bruins, who beat the Flyers 5-2 last night. So looking at my notes, Brassard got 2 goals to make it 2-2, Derek Brassard, but that was all the Flyers could do in this one. 2 goals in the third, Craig Smith and David Pastrnak meant it was a 5-2 win for Boston, and Boston go to 9-5-0, Flyers at 8-5-3 after that one. Next up, it's those Coyotes, and yes, win number 3 on the season for the Coyotes. They beat the Red Wings in overtime, 2-1. Detroit got off to the best possible start with a goal from Dylan Larkin. 8 minutes 41 into the first. No goals in the second. Ryan Zingle, with his second goal of the season, tied it up. And then there you go. Clayton Keller was just 25 seconds into the overtime. Nailed home his 4th goal of the season. And blimey O'Reilly, the Coyotes win. Always a bit embarrassing to lose to the Coyotes, Detroit. But unfortunately for you, you're 8-9-3, Coyotes 3-13-2. The comeback is on. The playoff push. Still plenty of time to go for those Coyotes. You never know. Next up, the Stars and the Blues. There were 2 short-handed goals from Roop Hintz in this one, according to my notes. Yes, 2 short-handed goals. Poor play from the Blues, you have to say. Whenever you get a short-handed goal against you, you've probably done something wrong, haven't you? And to do it twice, it was the same 2 players who I think he went through and set up both goals. Let's have a look. Raffle to Hintz. Yeah, same 2 players on the breakaway. Poor from the Blues, who've been a bit sticky of late. Had such a good start to the season and seem to have hit the skids a little bit recently. Dallas Stars in their neon tops on a Saturday got a much needed win at American Airlines Centre. There's been plenty of pressure on Rick Downes, their head coach. Doesn't seem like he's very popular according to Twitter among Stars fans, and it's not been a good start to the season for them. Lots of chances going begging in front of net. They're now 7-7-2, so nothing too terrible so far, but not what the Dallas Stars were hoping for this season. And they need to kick into gear soon. You do feel a losing run at some point, especially over the next month or so. Could see a head coach change in Dallas. But he lives another day with a 4-1 victory over the Blues. And then we go to the shiny helmets from Las Vegas. They beat the Blue Jackets, Pontin's favourite team, 3-2. Tough loss for Columbus. They went 2-0 up in the first. Nyquist and, is it Teixeira? Texia? I can never remember how he pronounces that one. But they scored twice in the third to rally past the Blue Jackets. Janmark with his first of the season to win it. And a good win for Vegas. They're grinding out wins at the moment. From what I've seen of them, watching the highlights, I saw a couple of bits of the games. They're certainly not at full strength with their roster, and they don't seem to be firing on all cylinders either. But they are getting some wins on the board, and that's what you need to do, especially when you've got key players out. Just find a way to win, keep your head above water as you move along, and you will come out the other side all the better for it. And the Golden Knights are now 11-7-0, so after plenty of battles that they've had to come through, the Golden Knights are on track. The very least, tough for the Blue Jackets, but 9-6 is still a good start to the season for Columbus. And then I will skirt over this a little bit because, as you all know, Well Oiled on a Friday night is when I talk for ages about the Oilers. But we got a great win last night, 5-2. It was an absolute humdinger of the first period. 4-1 in the first. Connor McDavid, of course, Mackie D's and Mackie D magic once again. What was that? No, that's 17 games with a point. That's his streak to start the season. They went 2-0 up with Tyson Barrie with a power play goal. Then Blackhawks made a right Horlicks of it, dishing the puck up on the power play in their own zone. And Yamamoto slammed it home to make it 3-0. Ryan McLeod, nice goal, that one. Ryan's second goal in the NHL, made it 4-0. Alex DeBrincat did get a goal back for the Blackhawks, but that was in vain. Leon Draisaitl, the Kaiser, with his 18th of the season on a breakaway. And Stuart Skinner, very good in net. Couldn't do much about either of the goals. So Skinner in there again for Mikko Koskinen. And he's doing well. Come on, Skinner. I shall have to make up my Skinner thing today. I'll do that this morning because I'm not going to do my gardening. I'll do a Skinner thing for Well Oiled on a Friday night. So good win for the Oilers who are 13-4-0. And then the final game from yesterday, the Washington Capitals. A nice win, a comfortable win, a comprehensive win over the San Jose Sharks. 2 goals from Sheary, 2 goals from Ovechkin, and it was a neat little 1-2 there. Sheary and Ovechkin in the first, Sheary and Ovechkin in the third. So that's 14 goals on the season for Alex. And, not much to say more than that. The Sharks comfortably beaten, you have to say. I haven't watched the full game, but from the highlights I saw, they had a few chances here and there, but a well-deserved 4-0 victory for the Capitals. And that leads us all onto the standings, doesn't it? Let's have a look at the standings as they are today. So we start in the Eastern Metro with Carolina out in front with 28 points and their 4-game win streak. Washington very close behind on 27 points, although they've played 2 games more, 11-2-5. And the Rangers have had a good start to the season. They're 10-4-3. Islanders, they're at the bottom on 5-7-2. And as I said in Ice Ice Baby, I think they're going to lose tonight to Toronto, but they will get the first win at UBS Arena against the Rangers. You can book it here now. Pittsburgh now up to 7 wins. Tough start to the season for them, but 18 points on the board, the same as Columbus. Then moving into Atlantic, as I mentioned earlier, the Pucky Blinders of the week are the Florida Panthers. They now have 29 points, which leads the NHL 13-2-3. Very strong start to the season for those guys. Losing Joel Quenneville hasn't made them... They had a little run, didn't they, where they lost a couple of games, I think. But other than that, looking good. And the move to the new head coach has not knocked them off track at all. Toronto lost their 5-game win streak last night, but still very good start to the season, 12-6-1. And Tampa Bay, not happy with losing last night in the third period, but generally speaking, have gone pretty well. And look at this, Montreal, because Ottawa are on the COVID naughty step at the moment. Montreal have been able to get off the cellar and move up to 12 points, 5-13-2, although they've played 5 more games than Ottawa. They've played 6 more games than Boston for some reason. Not sure why Boston have played so few. I'm pretty sure at least one of those was against Ottawa, wasn't it? That was postponed, but yes. A little bit of light relief for the Canadiens to not be bottom, as Ottawa's inaction has allowed them up the standings. Then in the Western Central, the Minnesota Wild, I was livid. That is the Minnesota team, 11-6-0, tied on 22 points with Winnie and the Jets at 9-4-4. With the St. Louis Blues, they're still up there, aren't they? But as I mentioned, they had that great run. They win something like 7 or 8 in a row or something like that. They had a good spell. They were very good early on. And they've hit the skids a little bit of late, but still a decent start to the season for the Blues. Dallas 7-7-2 with 16 points. Not what they want. They need to start stringing some wins together for their coach, Rick Bowness, or maybe they don't want to string some wins together. Chicago, they had won, I think they'd won 3 in a row coming into this, hadn't they? No, 4 games in a row before being beaten by the Edmonton Oilers last night, so they've picked up a little bit. Arizona with their 3rd win of the season last night. 8 points on the board for them. Yes. Small steps, I guess, you can say, for the Coyotes. And then finally, in the Pacific, of course, the Oil out in front. 13-4-0 with 26 points. Although the Calgary Flames, in the Battle of Alberta and the Battle of the Pacific, 10-3-5 with 25 points after their win at the Islanders last night. Anaheim had their winning run snapped, but a still very strong start to the season, 10-5-3 for them. Vegas on the charge, 11-7-0. And meanwhile, at the bottom, unfortunately, Vancouver have got a win, didn't they? They got a win the other night to go to 6-10-2. Although still plenty of pressure on Jim Benning and everyone else at the Canucks right now. But at the bottom, sadly for the Kraken, 4-12-1. 6 losses in a row for them. And they need to try and pick up. And no better time than to start tonight, as I am sure they are in action. Let's have a look at the schedule for tonight. Here we go. Yes, they are. Oh dear. So, the Kraken are looking to snap their 6-game losing streak. They've got to face the Washington Capitals tonight. Tough task for them, but you know, sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need a game like that where people will think, well, what chance have you got against them? Let's just throw everything at it. If you lose, you lose. You're expected to lose against the Caps, I guess, in their situation. So maybe tonight can be the night. That's not my ice maybe prediction. But yes, Seattle need a win tonight. Otherwise, we've got the Wild against the Lightning. That should be a good game. Buffalo, the Sabres facing the Rangers. Flames against the Bruins. So Flames going back to back, as are the Bruins. Toronto at the Islanders. So my ice maybe prediction is that Toronto will win tonight. So let's see if the Islanders can prove me wrong. Chicago at Vancouver. One for the Blackhawks and Canucks fans, probably based on their early season form, but a chance for both teams to get a win on the board tonight. And then finally, after the Caps cracking game, we have the Coyotes at the Kings. So the Kings, with a tough luck loss yesterday, battled hard against the Canes, losing 5-4. Shouldn't be such a battle against Arizona tonight, you would think, but they did get their 2-1 overtime win against Detroit last night. So maybe the Coyotes will be on form and going for back-to-back wins for the first time this season. So there we go. That is the Sunday Hockey Breakfast for Sunday 21st. Good run of games last night. Lots of goals, lots of action, and a few teams trying to pick up some form. And we'll see what they can do tonight. I would, nothing against the Caps, but it would be nice for the Kraken to get a win tonight. So much optimism coming into the season, and I know there'll still be optimism all the way through, and lots of people at the arena, whatever it is, Climate Pledge Arena. But it would be nice to see them snap this streak and get a good, feel-good win over the Capitals tonight. So let's see if they can do that. Otherwise, lots of other action on the cards, and we'll see if the Islanders defy my ice maybe prediction and do beat the Maple Leafs tonight. And we'll see if the Coyotes will do down my pessimism and my piss-taking and get the better of the Kings. But there we go. That is all of the action from Saturday. It's not raining at the moment, by the looks of it, although it looks pretty smeary out there. So I think I will put the gardening to one side. If there was any doubt and I was going to put the gardening to one side, I've decided I may go for a little walk, actually, get a bit of fresh air if it's not raining at some point this morning. But otherwise, I will stick indoors, catch up on some more hockey news, and look forward to the week ahead. So I will say we've got the usual, obviously, daft-puck.uk. I'll be updating that today, actually, this afternoon. and available as Daft as Puck on Twitter, and you can subscribe and click the notification bell on YouTube. The normal run of things is that we have Wednesday wrap up at 8 PM where I look at all 32 teams, so that should be fine. And I will have Well Oiled on a Friday night at 9 PM UK time, all about the Oilers. But next weekend, I may well be in London on a Sunday, so there may not be a Sunday hockey breakfast next weekend, but I shall let you know on Twitter and on daftaspuck.uk beforehand, and I will catch up, if that's going to be the case, I will catch up on my Ice Maybe prediction about the Islanders on a short little Saturday stream, or I may just put a video together about that one. But before then, it was a good night of hockey last night. Hopefully we'll have another good night tonight. A nice relaxing Sunday, albeit one probably mostly spent indoors, and then we will kick on with next week. There we go. Anyway, thank you for watching if you've been watching live, or if you've been watching on repeat. We will be back on Wednesday, 8 PM UK time, with the Wednesday wrap-up. And until then, enjoy your hockey wherever you get it and however you like to enjoy it. Whatever team you support, hockey, after the last couple of seasons of disruption, it is just great to have 82 games on the board. Of course, Ottawa Senators to one side on the naughty step. But yes, lots of hockey fun to enjoy, and I hope you're enjoying it too. I'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks a lot for watching.